Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to Kicker Rocks Podcast 2 Drink Minimum. This is episode number 13, lucky number 13. Do you like games, board games, card games, games of chance? We talked about games to play on game night, so what your favorite games are, what some of ours are. So the crew got together, we talked about it. Sit back, relax, have a drink with us, and enjoy. All right, gentlemen, cheers.
Cheers.
We got that good clink going.
Bill went last.
Oh, I got Tony second with that.
There you go. We're working on it. Welcome to 2 Drink Minimum. We are talking about game night tonight. So what are your favorite party games that you bust out at game night? They could be board games, they could be card games, dice, whatever you want. Charades. We'll see what we say. Anything that's fun to play games. Tony, you got something to say? What's up?
It was a really good intro too. You usually introduce us. We're talking with.
Oh, okay. Well,
Tony
let's keep going. Okay, go ahead. Who are you?
Oh no, this is awkward now. Tony, I'm Tony.
Sergio.
Homer.
JT. And I'm Bill. And so let's just get things rolling. I love it. That intro's gonna stay. It's pretty good. That's not gonna annoy anyone.
No, not even
All
a
right.
little bit.
So who wants to get things rolling? Just favorite party games in general. Things where you're around a group of friends and you like to play games. Whether you invited them over for that or it's just a spur of the moment thing. Who's got something? Who's going first?
I'll just go.
Okay, Tony, go.
Favorite game night or party game? As much as I am a big fan of left, right, center, and taking my friends' money, I'm gonna go with Uno.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with Uno.
a vicious game.
Yeah, and I think that's why I like it. Like, there was a meme going around a while ago. It was like, man, you don't know, your true friends, who your true friends are until you play like Uno with them. Because people change during Uno.
Yeah.
Like, it gets ugly. Like, it gets pretty bad. There's no mercy.
You throw a wild draw 4 on me, we're not talking for a week.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you did that? Just wait, I'm gonna do that. And then you never know if you can throw that or not, or if house rules are going, or if it's the actual rules, or you threw that draw 4 and you could have threw something else. You could only throw that when you have nothing else. Shut up. Take the 4. Pick up the 4.
I played Harry Potter Uno recently, and there were extra cards. It was pretty awesome. There was a card where you had to see somebody else's cards, like they had to show you them. It was the owl card or something. I don't know.
Oh man.
Wow.
And there was another one, but I don't remember. Oh, it was invisibility cloak. If somebody threw down a wild 4, you could throw the invisibility cloak on top of it and be negated.
Would it go to the next person, or would it just be done?
It goes to, I don't know.
I was gonna say in Harry Potter Uno, every card should just be the Avada Kedavra card. Just for those who don't know, that's the killing curse.
Oh, is that what that is?
And everyone should die.
I only know a couple. I know
that was the joke.
I know
Some
Expelliarmus.
nerds laughed at that right there.
I can disarm you with Expelliarmus. It's all I know.
All right. It's good. But Uno, do you play that a lot with your family, friends?
I don't play it a lot. I used to play it a lot.
You're not the one who carries around the Uno deck just in case?
No, but I have LCR in my coat pocket right now because that's the degenerate gambler that I am.
Of course.
And
That's when you want to take people's money.
Yeah, and when you play LCR with friends, it's all right, you're at the most, unless you're really bad, losing $3 at a time. And I don't mind losing $3 to a friend or winning, $25 from 15 friends. It doesn't, from 15 friends, from, whatever.
But Tony,
I can't math right now.
You know how I feel about gambling, so it's
That's why I've never played LCR with you.
And that's why I always feel alienated when we're sitting in a bar and you want to play that, because I'm oh man, he just doesn't want to play games with me.
That was one time.
Uno, and Sergio's I'm in.
We only play Uno for cash. No, I used to play it a lot when...
Uno's bad enough without cash. You play Uno for cash, you will fight.
Now we're thinking.
Yeah.
Me, Don, Al, and Matt used to play when we were living in the house in Evergreen together. We'd play it a lot, and it would get so ugly. Like, it'd be so bad by the end of the night. But, yeah, I loved it. It's fun. You fuck with people, skip people, draw 2 on people, draw 4 on people. Yeah, it's just fun. It's a fun card game, and it's quick. Yeah.
I agree. It's quick and easy. It's easy to learn, but yeah, there's definitely, there can be some bad blood in that game.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that gets competitive real quick, for sure. Love it.
Nice.
Sage.
All right.
Let's just go in order.
Yeah, that works for me. This is a game. This is one of those games where it's like more recently in the recent years, it's like every holiday that I'm with my family or just spending time with family. It's a very simple game, and I've probably only been playing it for about 3 or 4 years.
Russian roulette.
No,
okay.
That's very close. There is a country that's in the name. It's called Mexican Train. Anyone hear of it?
Not in that context.
I mean, it sounds like a porno I would have saw.
$75 for that one train at a hotel room.
Well, see, first you end up in Tijuana.
That's a terrible joke.
Oh yeah, that's where it all starts.
We're making fun of his traditions.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
But you know what?
And his ethnicity, if
I know, and no, it's not a dirty game. You can go into Target right now, go to the board game section in Target, and buy it. It's a dominoes game. Now we've all played dominoes, and we've all played probably like the basic concept of domino, which I think is a 4-person game, and you have so many like ways of playing or like how you add to it.
Yeah.
Mexican Train it's kind of
I can't get over that name.
Really? You're
How
gonna
did
match
nobody in your
Olive?
family ever call that out? Anyway, go ahead.
Because his parents are saints.
Because I'm with the family, and it's like, hey, let's play Mexican Train. All
This
right.
isn't a racial thing. It could have been Ukrainian train, and
Yeah,
it would still sound
exactly.
funny.
Oh, the name would have clearly been Ukrainian if we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's get it right.
And the game actually has little like train pieces, like as if you were playing like a Monopoly game or something
All right.
like that.
All right.
But it's literally what you have is this like it's a domino set where the pieces go up to the number 15 opposed to the standard 6. I think is the standard domino piece, and you start off with the center where you have your main piece that's a double. So you have a double 15, double 14, whatever, and you work your way down to 0. And you have 8 trains that can be built off of this domino. It's like,
There's 8 Mexican trains.
yeah, you can have up to 8 Mexican trains running. And it's literally...
no.
You guys, no,
He
trust me.
set you up for that one.
One day, you guys, I'm gonna throw a party, and I'm gonna say, guys,
Dude,
this
I
is
want
what
you to
we're
try to
playing.
run 8 Mexican trains on us and see what happens.
Yes. You'll enjoy it.
That's-
Trust me.
Oh, ay, Dios mío.
I'm actually looking forward to this. It sounds
Exactly.
all right.
Yeah, I know you guys make fun of it now, but
No.
one day you will play it and you're gonna be like, wow, this is actually really fun, and you're gonna run to Target and you're gonna buy this game and you're gonna be like, I've got to play this, and you're gonna enjoy it. Trust me.
Hold on, I am not running into a Target yelling, "Where's the Mexican train?" I'm not doing that.
Well, maybe not in Little Village or Humboldt Park, but in other neighborhoods you probably
Oh
can.
man, 5 minutes in, this podcast has
Yeah,
gone south.
yeah,
Excellent,
yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, you guys just took what I love and enjoy
Yeah.
as family time into this most perverted
That's what we do.
like
That's what we do here.
conversation ever.
We didn't.
Yeah.
I literally just repeated what you've said verbatim, and
You're the one with all the foul language.
All I said was Mexican Train.
Exactly. All right.
All right.
All right.
Anyways, it's a fun game that uses dominoes, and if you ever get a chance, it's very fun, very addicting, and
Cool.
yeah, and you can spend hours playing it. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Maybe you should like explain it to us all over again, but say
No.
like Mexican railroad.
No, I tried to explain it, and it became this whole like joke. So yeah, JT.
Oh, right. Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
It is
alright.
now. It is now.
I
This
don't
is a
know.
quick one. We're running on time.
For a long
like
time,
train.
I was the asshole who said like, "No, I don't feel like playing," and I'd like do my own thing somewhere else while everybody else played the game. But I've been trying to stop that lately and actually join in on stuff. And my brother-in-law and my sister are like crazy about board games and like new types of board games and all kinds of Kickstarter stuff, and they're into like role playing games, but also just straight up board games, and they go to like conventions like built around them and stuff, and like all kinds of shit. So like they got one that me and like all my siblings played when we visited my other sister Maggie down in Springfield about 2 years ago. It was called Secret Hitler. It was amazing. It's like
What?
do you know those kinds of games where it's like, it's like you got like 7 or 8 people in a circle and you're trying to figure out who's the
Clue.
Yeah, like who's the bad one?
That,
you know what I mean?
that sounds a lot like Mexican Train. I'm just saying.
So is there like a little
You are the
Hitler?
weakest kink.
Is there like a little Hitler mustache that one person has to wear?
No.
And you have to find out who's this. And they're sitting there like, no, it's just not me.
No, you got, it's like you get like a card in the beginning, and it's either
Tells you whether
it's
it's Hitler.
it's either liberal, fascist, or Hitler.
Oh, God.
So it's like, there's like 5 liberals or something, and then like
Alright.
1 fascist, and then like a Hitler, and like nobody knows who you are. So you're trying to get laws passed, So it's like pre-Nazi Hitler when he's on the rise up.
Oh my God.
So it's like there's like these cards that you pick up and you got to throw down, and then like people have to vote on them. So everybody's got to vote, and so it's like people are trying to convince each other, hey, like you should vote on this card so that when we put it down, blah blah. So it's like the secret Hitler and the fascists are trying to get their agenda pushed, and the liberals are trying to get theirs pushed, and then it's like people could call each other out. But so it'll be like, so sometimes there's like deception, like the fascists can like make a liberal think that, like, oh, I'm one of you or something. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like it's one of those mindfuck games. Like I don't know. It's really fun though.
And
And you can assassinate Hitler.
God.
who brought this game into your family mix? Like, you said it was your sister or your brother? Like,
My
there's something-
brother-in-law and sister.
Where did he find this thing?
He has like everything. Like TJ's got like 7 million fucking board games and stuff. That's pretty great. So I'm always playing like these new weird things with them, and
Wow.
it's cool. So Secret Hitler, check it out.
Am I right?
You can there's like an assassin
terrible.
card, like you try and assassinate him, and if you fail, like if you pick the wrong person, like it's all over and you lost. You're an idiot.
All right. That actually sounds fun. All these games sound fun. So
All right, Bill, ground us.
I can't. We're going with like personal games. I feel like Tony's got the only game so far that everyone's gonna know. This one is near and dear to my heart. My family, every family gathering, plays a dice game that is simply known as the dice game. There's really no official name to it, but it is highly competitive, and of course, we've integrated, betting into it as well. So there's a couple different pots you can get. You don't just have to win the game to get a pot. There's also
Side bets?
there's side bets. There's highest score in one roll. It's a separate pot. There's a recent one that's called the insult to injury pot, because there's actually a roll you can do where you get negative points, and whoever is lucky enough to get that roll gets into a whole separate pot. So yeah, there's a little bit of gambling involved, I'd say, but it's a lot of fun. It's a game that has evolved throughout the years, but basically some would say there's no skill required whatsoever. It's basically 5 dice, you roll them, you see what score you get to choose if you want to keep rolling or bank that score, right? And we usually set a limit of first person at, let's say, 5,000 is the winner, all right? But there is a little bit, it's not all luck, there's some strategy to it. How many points should you take?
What's a 6 worth?
What's not enough? What's that?
What's a 6 worth?
A 6 is worth nothing on its own.
I'm just wondering how long it takes to get up to 5,000. How long is this
5,000?
game?
Well, you can, there's different scores. So if you roll, the short version is you roll a 1, it's any 1 is worth 100 points, any 5 is worth 50. 3 of a kind is that number times 100. So 3 2s is 200, 3 3s is 300, so on and so forth. A straight is 1 through 5 or 2 through 6. If you do that in one roll, that's 1,000 points. And you can take all 5 dice back and roll. So you can get up to 5,000 pretty quick. You know, it's happened in, a really good run is like, under 10 rolls, under 10 turns to get to 5,000. It's pretty good typically. A high roll, we've seen 2,000 or 3,000 in one turn, which is pretty crazy to get. Usually that means you're going to win. But the cool thing about it is that a few years back, my cousin Charlie actually had a championship belt made. And on the center of the belt are 2 giant, it's a wooden belt, and there's carved dice on the belt. So this belt gets passed around. Whoever wins the match gets to take that championship belt, and your name gets written on the back of the belt with the date that you won it on. So there's, and it goes in a circle. So there's still plenty of room in that belt. We got a few more years to go before we need a new one. But yeah, there's, to get your name on the belt more than one time is a big deal, right? My name's been on there quite a few times, you're just saying. But yeah, it's a fun game that my family invented and has no real name to it, but is very highly competitive and a lot of fun.
A ceremony for the passing of the belt?
It usually involves a lot of trash talking. Yeah, right? It should be. There's a lot of trash talking that's involved during the game and, of course, after when there's winners. But we usually play it at least once per gathering, and it's the belt gets passed around. It's a lot of fun.
We've never played this with you. Is it just for family? You don't want your friends to play
No,
it?
if you're a newcomer, the rules are really easy. It's a quick game to learn. You are more than welcome to play. Just be willing to take some trash talking, though. If you can have some thick skin and like to roll dice, you're more than welcome to play.
You guys hear that? Anybody with thick skin and likes to roll dice is invited to Bill Miller's next family gathering.
All are welcome. All are welcome, no matter where it is. And you guys can play dice with us. And if you win on your first time playing, we will chastise you for life. Because that's not allowed. You can't win if you're a rookie. Even though it's happened.
So you guys completely made up this game. Mm-hmm. Who made it up? Like, how far back in this family line does it go?
This goes back 1822. When
Parker Brothers are listening right now.
When John Archibald Miller was this it goes back quite a ways, but basically the short version is my parents and their friends, to my knowledge, unless they were completely lying to me, which is also an option, to my knowledge, invented this game. And they played it all the time whenever they got together, and it slowly became this thing where my family kind of carried it on, and we played this game and we loved it, and it's become this prestigious thing among our family where we're playing dice. That's it. Bring your dollar bills to the table, and whoever walks away at the end with the belt gets to brag that year.
What do these pots get up to?
Depends on how many players. We usually do $1 per pot, and there are, at any given point in a game, there's 3 different pots. Plus, we'll throw in some lotto cards in the pot sometimes. Plus some gold dollars, which, although according to currency exchange are worth $1, are worth a little more. If you're willing to side bet a gold dollar on something, right? Like a Sacagawea or a Susan B. Anthony.
Play for deeds, titles.
Those are, so it can get a little crazy, but not too crazy. It's all in good fun. But yeah, we play it every year. I love it. And the fact that there's actually a championship belt is amazing to me. It's awesome. The first time I saw it, I was like, this is officially prestigious now. This added something to it.
Did someone carve that out?
I actually think the story goes, and I'll have to check with him on this, but my cousin Charlie's a teacher, and he had one of his students in woodshop, I believe, from what I remember, make this belt. And it looks...
That's awesome.
Awesome. I think it was one of his students. It might have been somebody else who was just really good at wood carving, but I thought it might have been one of his students or something, but he had it made. The point is he had it made, and it's beautiful looking. It's a beautiful looking wood belt with straps and everything. So like if you're a wrestler and you have that championship belt, or a boxer, that's what it looks like with 2 giant dice carved in the center of it.
Who's got it right now?
Oh, who was the last one to win? That would have been Christmas? Who won at Christmas? I can't think.
Well, it's-
It wasn't me.
I just
I
thought
wouldn't
you
know
might
if it was
have
me,
it.
so it definitely wasn't me.
Wait, how often do you
But-
play?
Almost every holiday or every time we get together.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a few times a year. So the belt gets passed around maybe 3 or 4 times a year. There's a game for sure.
The belt's definitely is a short tangent. The belt reminds me of when my cousin Tim and I worked at the Oak Lawn Public Works together, and we were in the garage in the morning, was sitting around with all the other part timers, 35-year-old or 35 or so college kids between 18 and 22, and like he just shows up with the fucking wrestling belt. Like with a golden wrestling belt. There's no reason. Like he didn't win anything. He made it himself with my cousin Kelly, his sister. And
He walked in like
he
he was
just
the
walked
champ?
in, yeah, he just walked in with his sleeves rolled up, and he's pretty jacked at the time anyway. He's just like, I'm the fucking champion. It's like, you need a goddamn gun to take me down. He was just like pushing people and stuff. I was like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, there's something about a belt that just makes it that much more meaningful. When you hold that belt, you feel like a winner. So you know, so there it is. I think that could do it. Or do we want to go another round of other favorite favorite party
Definitely
games?
another round.
This is pretty quick.
I feel like I gotta redeem myself for like
All right.
talking about
Then
a game that was just like so like my family just loves playing this game, and you guys completely made me feel like I'm like somewhere.
No, it's really
Dude,
cool.
it sounds
It's
fun.
really fun. I'm sorry to crush your childhood or whatever.
No.
but I mean, it's called.
Well, it's actually
called train.
It's Mexican train. I get it. But okay,
Do you?
no, there's another. there is an, okay. So I'm gonna mention the safe one, but I will bring up another one that you guys are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about, Sergio? The one that we did play like my entire youth growing up is a card game that basically you could have as many players as you wanted, but every player had to have their own deck of cards. It was a game called Nerds. I didn't think that was going to be familiar for anyone, but it was another Nerds game. It was like combining like the game of solitaire with like making that pile that you would put your solitaire cards to.
Yeah.
Like as many players as you had playing, they can all participate in getting that pile. So it was a race to see who could get to that pile first. So it was a very intense, like, you gotta be quick, you gotta pay attention, you gotta see how many aces of whatever they are in the center, so that as you're flipping your 3, you can quickly get to those before anyone else can. And it's very intense and crazy and fast, and it's very, very fun. And we don't play that anymore, I think, because like we're all a lot older, and my parents are older, and we're just kind of tired. So
Everyone's moving slower.
We're just like, that one's a little bit intense, but that is a very, very fun game. But my second favorite that I will bring up now, aside that I just brought up that one, it's a very basic one that I know everyone will know, which is Yahtzee. I love playing Yahtzee. Like if we're at somebody's house and it's we're bored and we're just like, oh, let's do something. If there's a Yahtzee game around, I will play that 100% because it's just so simple, so fun, and anyone can do it.
I like any game where you get to put dice in a cup and
right?
roll it around.
And then
'cause
shake
it's
the cup.
It
And
just
like,
sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like
And-
pirate dice or Farkle. Like anything.
Exactly. And that
Last
was
time I played Yahtzee was with you.
Yeah. And my thing was, I always had to. Some people just want to shake the dice in their hand and slap it down. Like I would be like, no, give me the cup, the container. I want to put the dice in the container. I want to shake it in the container and slap it down because I like the sound. So I hear what you're saying, JT. So yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So my second favorite
Sounded
like
like
party
Mexican
game,
train.
my
God damn it! I was taking a drink.
so my second favorite party game would have to be Yahtzee. So
All right.
there you
All
go.
right. Love it. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'll go. We're going in all sorts of orders. My second favorite. This is a game I actually haven't played in a while, but I used to play it a lot. Scattergories. Anybody remember Scattergories? Love that game. Because you could be, it was very competitive. You could be creative. The game was different every time you played it because you rolled a random die, and it had all letter combinations on there, all the letters. And you could, and depending on the categories you had for each round, you had to answer according to that letter, and the answer had to start with that letter. So if you had C, if you rolled a C, you might get a category that, your first three could have been like, a vegetable, and you'd write down cauliflower, right? Now, if somebody else at the table wrote down cauliflower, you wouldn't get any points, and neither would they.
Right,
So
and that's what got you
had to
thinking.
pick something
Right.
that nobody else would pick.
You'd try to go as obscure as possible.
Yes, and if you did back to back, like if you were alliterative, like if the letter was C and it was like famous actor, and you picked like Christopher Walken, that'd be 1 point. But if you did Charlie Chaplin and nobody else picked that, you get 2 points for easy. So it was about, there was a little bit of strategy. It was trying to think about what other people would think about, and then maybe thinking about something different. And there was a timer involved, so it's kind of nerve-wracking at the same time. Very competitive, very clever game. So I've always liked categories for that reason. But
Yeah, it's a fun one.
That's one.
Nice.
That was one of those 80s games that stuck, that like did its job. It was like, oh, this is an actual real board game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was
for
fun.
sure.
And like, because it was flooded with a lot of garbage. Like, I remember a game called Boulder Dash, and I can't remember if it was good or not.
Yes, I
But
remember the
could-
commercial.
I can
don't think
remember,
I played
but I
it.
can remember always enjoying categories way more than Boulder Dash, and that's what we'd always play was categories.
Boulder Dash. I still say that.
Boulder Dash.
Boulder Dash.
You have to sound like Winston Churchill when you say Boulder Dash.
Boulder Dash.
We shall never surrender. I had to get that in one podcast.
Have you
I had to.
Have you seen Darkest Hour, Bill?
No, don't get me started on Darkest Hour. That's a separate podcast. But
There you
hey,
go.
congratulations to Gary Oldman for doing an impression of Winston Churchill.
And how does Winston Churchill sound?
We shall never surrender. But no, Gary Oldman's phenomenal actor. Anyone, that's just a bad joke. Anyway, going on.
I'll go.
Come in.
For my
Tell us your board game that we want to hear.
your
Right now.
second choice.
Just what is your second choice?
Winston Churchill.
We have said Uno. We have said categories. We have said Mexican train.
You done?
No, I'm not done.
Every time I go to talk, you start again. God damn it. All right. My second choice, now that everyone's talking about family games and stuff, and made me remember, there was a game we always had at my house as a kid, and it ended up being in the basement when our basement flooded and it got ruined, and they had to throw it out, and we couldn't find it for years, but then we did, and my dad wanted one for the house to show his grandkids how to play it. And it's just this, it's a single person game, but we played it as a family because you wanted to see who could get the furthest and if you could beat that person. And it's called Shoot the Moon. And it's this long wooden piece with these 2 metal bars, and there's a really heavy, large ball bearing that you have to, you open the 2 steel rods and it rolls down.
Oh, I think I
And then it's like Earth, Jupiter, blah, blah, da, 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 da. The highest one is the moon, and it's the hardest one to get to.
Tell the men to prepare to shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon, boss! But it's just one of those games that I can remember, like, even though it was a single-person game, we played it as a group and played it as a family. And it was like, my nephew has gotten insanely good at it for no reason. Like, he's like, yeah, I shot the moon, like, 40 times in a row. And I'm like, oh my God, 3 times in my life. Like, they're like, no, seriously, he did it like 20 times in a row. Like, you watch him, and he figured out the trick to it or figured out the best way to do it. But yeah, that's just one of those that makes me think of family, and we play as a group even though it wasn't a group game.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
That sounds fun. I've never played that, but I kind of want to.
I don't think so.
See, that was the
You're
wholesome
not
story.
shoot the moon material.
That's what you were going for?
That was the wholesome story I was hoping for, and you guys turned Mexican Train into some sort of fucking, like,
We turned it into that.
late night, whatever TV show that you guys would watch when you were like then, like keep on flipping through channels.
You know
whatever.
what? You know that just made me.
Perverts.
You know what that just made me think of when you said late night. Do you guys remember USA when it used to be like a really trashy cable?
USA about
Yes.
with Gilbert Godfrey.
And the weird, it was Gilbert Godfrey and the weird blonde lady.
Yeah.
USA Up All Night with Rhonda. Like, and they played the worst B and C movies ever. That's
We're
what that-
watching Bikini Car Wash 2.
That's exactly. Yep. Okay. So you remember it too.
I do. They would play like Showtime movies, but like cut all the sex
Oh,
scenes
yeah.
out. It's like, what the fuck are you showing this for then?
JT, second choice.
Up to you.
Second, third choice is sure. It's so good. My girlfriend got me into Phase 10. That's a fun card game. Did you guys ever play that?
No.
It sounds familiar.
It's fun. It's like It's a similar. No, it's not too similar to Uno, but it's like there's numbers and colors. For the cards, it's like 1 through 12, and then like a skip or whatever. So it's like there's these 2 rule cards that you have, so you can look at it, and so it's like there's 10 phases. So it's like you gotta for the first one get like 3 pairs, or like two pairs or something like that.
Okay.
So it's like, I need a 5 and a 5, so it's like pick up from the pile and discard.
Okay.
It's like I need a 5 and a 5 and a 7 and a 7. Okay, I got it, And so once you put it down, you're done with that phase. You know what I mean? So you got to go through 10 phases, and it gets harder as it goes. So it's like you need a row of 8. You know what I mean? So it's like, I need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's really fun. It's like,
Oh, that's awesome. So as you go through the phases of the 10, then it gets more challenging every time, and the first one to complete all 10 phases wins, I assume?
basically.
That's awesome.
And once you are done with your phase, you got to get rid of all your cards, And you do that by, so like, let's say you got 3 pairs down there, So it's like a 5, 5, a 6, 6, a 7, 7, or whatever. It's like you got to put a 7 down, or you got to put a 6 down, or you got to put a 5 down to add to that, So, or if you have in a row, so it's like 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like you got to need a 6 or a 1. You know what I mean? So it's like you can add to it. Then that's how you discard and get rid of all your cards.
Cool.
And the other player can get their phase out, hopefully in time before you get rid of all your cards, or else they stay at that phase. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So it's like I can move on to phase 2, and they can be stuck in phase 1 if I get rid of my cards during phase 1. So, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's pretty fun.
No, it's challenging, strategy worthy.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's cool. She got me into it, and now I'm always
Is
like,
this something that
bring over phase 10. Bring over phase 10.
is this something like she played with like her family, or is this just something like, hey,
Yeah, I think so.
Or let's just play.
She's always had. I never heard about it until like.
I've never heard of it.
stuff,
It
so.
sounds fun though.
Yeah, I want
wanna
to play
check
it
out.
like
Yeah.
next time she's
Yeah, it's fun
Right.
as balls. It's good with like.
Next party
a lot
we
of
have,
people.
and she's there, just like, hey,
And be
man.
like, face 10! Or
Face
like,
10.
we're at a bar. I don't care, face 10!
It's good with 5 people. It's good with 2 people. You know what I mean? So
Cool.
That's
Nice.
what's cool about
Cool.
it. And then I suppose the other one I'm gonna dig deep into. We're in our 30s now, so we're always talking about like 30s people shit. But
Sure.
in my early 20s when we played Drunken Jenga.
Drunken Jenga.
What this was with me and like one of my closest groups of friends. Like, is we always used to play this every chance we could when we were just hooked up.
Wow.
So it's like it was a Jenga thing that somebody had made, and it was like a truth or dare kind of game. It was like either a dare, you know what I mean?
So
like,
you pull out the Jenga piece and it had a truth or dare
yeah,
comment on
well,
it,
you
or
pull out,
question?
you pull out the piece and it had stuff written on it. So
Alright.
it was like you put. I don't know if we made this up. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where it came from, but we played it a
It
lot.
existed. It existed.
I don't know who the hell made it. It's just I don't know if they found it like the Necronomicon in the first Evil Dead, but like you just pull stuff out and it's like dare, like drink 2 beers in a row or some shit like that, and then it's like the other half of it was never have I ever.
Oh, okay.
And you guys have played Never Have I Ever, right?
Sure.
So it's like, when you play, hopefully you don't play that with like girlfriend around because like then it always goes like you pull out the thing like
It depends how honest you are.
Never ever have I ever been in a Mexican train, and then hopefully your girlfriend doesn't drink next to you. But
It's been like 4 recalls. It's alright.
they could just keep going.
Like it's, it just keeps chugging along.
Where's Mark Nelson right now?
Like
Where
a
he can
track.
just go choo choo.
Yeah. So that was something.
Shout
I
out
did
to Chad.
a lot. I very much remember being camping and drunk as shit and playing that, and
There you go.
a lot of basements and I don't even know. I don't.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. There've been a lot of these games you guys have said. I think we all picked ones that were kind of near and dear to us for the most part because I have not heard of most of these games, and this makes me want to play them. Except for Mexican Train, because fool me once, Sergio, fool me once.
You don't know what you're missing. You don't know what
From
you're
like the
missing.
5 or 6 rules,
Right.
from the 5 or 6 words of the rules that were able to like pierce into my head between the giggles, it sounded fun. But
It does. It does.
I didn't hear it. I'm gonna have to listen to this podcast and filter out.
I know, yeah. But when we
I'll
listen,
to Sergio.
when we listen to this, we're gonna be like, man, we were dicks. That game sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But
Oh, what can you do? What can you do?
And what can you do? All we can do is this: we can say goodnight and we can say cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
To you and to everybody listening, thank you so much. That's going to do it. Tony, do your thing.
Once again, this is WKAR's podcast talking to you about the board games from your days of yore. Take a ride on the Mexican train and you'll feel a way you've never felt before.
Work hard.
Chicka can't bow wow now, Cal.
I love it. All right, that was episode 13 of Kicker Axe Podcast, 2 Drink Minimum, Game Nights. We talked about a bunch of different games there. Had a little fun with that one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening. You know, if you want to let us know what your favorite games are, what games we should try and play, you know where to find us. You can email us at podcast@kickerrock.com. That's podcast@kickerrock.com. Like our page on Facebook. You can comment on our Facebook page, our iTunes account, all that good stuff. Let us know how you feel. Again, thank you for tuning in. This has been 2 Drink Minimum. We've been drinking, thinking, and talking shop. Cheers, everybody.